Another great feature of H2 database, it's the compatibility mode, and you have several. The main idea is that the idea is to use this database for testing, or maybe when you are developing and you don't want to install locally a server on your machine, for instance, like an Oracle. So maybe there should be a way for me to use a very light database like H2, but works as close as possible with a production environment like Oracle. And H2 can do that if you use this mode word after the connection string, and you write on the right side which compatibility mode you want. So you have compatibility modes for legacy, which is the previous version of H2, DB2, which is a database, I think, from IBM. There are a lot of banking companies using DB2. Derby, it's a very popular database. HCS is another alternative, I would say, database, for instance, to H2. Microsoft SQL Server for Microsoft, and you can see here the lists where this H2 behaves like the SQL Server for Microsoft. You have MariaDB and, of course, MySQL. So they are somehow similar, but they have gone in different paths, different branchings. And you have the Oracle compatibility mode, and I will show you at least one or two features from here in a moment. You have Postgres, which is being quite popular now. Lots of companies, and even banking companies where I've worked with, we were moving to Postgres in some departments, and that's a lot of compatibility mode. So let's see an example. So how to do it? So again, we have our code. It's similar to the previous video. If you watched my previous video, the code it's the same, but I changed a little bit some of the class. So we have a class user with these 4 attributes: ID, username, password, and email. The rest is just gets and sets and the toString. There's no business logic here. So if you want to follow this video and develop your code, it's just this. You just write these 4 attributes, and if you are using IntelliJ, you can ask him to generate this. Then, of course, don't forget to add this dependency, H2, on the POM. Okay, now I've created a class to initialize this database. Let's say a class that represents the H2 database, where you can get the connection. And in this connection, I just write the connection string of it's JDBC compatible, the database, let's say the mode in which this database is operating, and you can have mem, you can have a server, for instance. And then we are adding now this mode. Of course, this database, it's just a parameter that we can see here. And I add another parameter for compatibility. And the compatibility, you just write after the database with the mode equals, and you write compatibility, in our case, would be Oracle. And again, the default username and password for this database. So in this example, of course, I create the users table with users ID. Now it's not auto number anymore, or auto increment, to be more precise here. So it's just a regular column like ID. So it will be the responsibility of the insert statement to generate a number. And I will show you in a moment how. Now you have ID, username, password, email. And then I have another one to create a sequence, which is, there are several databases, but I'm developing as if it was Oracle. And Oracle, you can create a sequence, you give it a name, and then you say you start with a specific number that I'm passing as a parameter, let's say 100, for instance, and then you can define the increment, meaning that maybe you want something like start on 100, and every 2 you will have increments of 2, like say 100, 102, 104, and so on. So you don't want the sequence one by one. You want, let's say, even sequence or an odd sequence. That's one way to do it. Sometimes there are reasons for that, but I wanted to make sure that you understand that I was using the sequence for Oracle, and you can configure the start and increment, so you can see a real example working and showing that we have control of all the aspects of the example. So we have the open database, and as you know, when it's in memory, when you open a connection to a database with this name, it will create the database, create a sequence, and you already have a table. Now we have UsersDAO. UsersDAO, it's our class that manages the operations to the database. So we receive the connection here on the constructor, and then you can add user using insert, and you can see insert into users, ID, username, password, and email, and values. Now we are doing an Oracle thing. Use a sequence next val. So the first one will be 100, the next one will be 102, and so on. And then we have, of course, 3 parameters for username, password, and email. Okay, that's one way to do it. And the get user is just a regular select all users from a table and returns a list of users. So let's see our main. And our main, of course, we get the connection. We say that our database uses DB and Oracle. If you remember, this will be these parameters on this get connection. And we'll make sure that this will be the database name, which is a parameter, and compatibility here. So that's why I'm using users DB and Oracle. Then we create table users. Again, this table here. Okay, it's quite simple. And then we create the sequence. So later we can execute the insert, or otherwise the insert will fail because the sequence should be created. And I'm stating that it will start on the number 100 and the increment will be 2. And again, it will be this one, this create sequence. This is SQL, pure SQL. There is nothing of Java here. The only thing that we are doing Java is the JDBC standard here. And then I'm using the DAO. I pass the connection on the constructor. It's a good practice in this pattern. And now I will just call the method add or create user, and we pass a user. You can see that I'm putting the ID as null because it will be generated by the sequence here. Next eval. You can use this whatever you want. Not only inserts. It's just the create this sequence. If you read more about it, it's just an object, internal object of database that you can use for whatever you want. It's just a numbers manager. You can use it on tables, but you can use in a select if you want to generate the next number. You can even ask what is the current number. There is, I think it was here. If you return to here, I think, let's say Oracle, empty strings, date, time, sequence, you can see like this sequence current value. Okay, let's return to our example. So we add users and then we select the table to make sure that it works. So let's play this. Run. So you can see that the numbers were generated using the Oracle way with ID 100 and then increments of 2 until we reach this number after 10 users that we have here. Okay, this is just how the compatibility mode works. You can, and I invite you to read the documentation. I think you'll get impressed if it's your first time using H2. It's quite impressive, the list of features and the compatibility modes and standard SQL that this database supports. I just want to show you one or more things in my next videos, not on this one. I like to do small videos so people will learn one thing at a time and they can return to the video, just learn a specific thing. So I hope to see you there.